even when I changed my diet, and I think by the time I'd got to this clinic, I had done quite a lot of, being aware of what I was eating and sleep, and I tried yoga, but because my stress levels were so high, none of that good stuff was making an impact.
Right.
So, and this is what, I think I've seen videos that you've covered here as well. It's about, it's not about what you do, it's when you do it, and it's how you're doing it. So you could be doing yoga and trying to meditate and eating amazing food, but if you're really tense all the time, it's not going to have an impact.
Right.
So the first thing I did was to calm the body down, and that for me was the longest bit. I had to work on that because that was a practice. I had to work on meditation. Was massive for me, just breathing and just breathing and feeling my body, becoming aware of my body, and then when I did that, then I could start noticing what was going on in my head. And then the next layer was, okay, all of this criticism, all of this kind of junk up here, all of these unkind things, all of this pressure, all of these expectations I'm putting on myself, now work on those, calming those down, shifting those, changing those patterns, working on those patterns.
And how was balancing doing all of that inner work with also being a mum?
Yeah, that was challenging.
Because that's tough.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's where the guilt comes in. So the whole time, and it's all because we can kind of talk about working on ourselves, and it's lovely in theory, but in practice, when you've got families and you've got children especially, it doesn't always feel like it's something you can do. And I've spoken to a lot of people as well who are also mums, and we've talked about this, and it's like this guilt of, your role as a mum is to be there and to nurture, and we don't want to change that, but sometimes we're giving so much. It's all about our children, and I'm not saying don't love them or don't do anything, of course, but it became, for me, I put so much of my energy into being a mother, and she has her own needs as well, and it was just kind of exhausting, and I felt guilt. At first I felt guilty. So when I had to put some boundaries in place of like, well, no, I can't do this today, I felt really bad. But it was just because it was uncomfortable and I hadn't done it.
Yes.
But once I started to feel my body a bit more and being a bit more kind to myself, that started to kick in a little bit more. But it was challenging because you're worried about everybody else, but that's the helper thing coming in again.
Yeah, and one of the things that often happens is when something is new and unfamiliar, we therefore often assume it must be wrong, it must be bad, as opposed to sitting with, why is this unfamiliar? Is it unfamiliar because it really is, like it's bad for my daughter, it's bad for me, it's just a bad thing, or it's unfamiliar because I'm not getting to live out that part of my mind that tells me my self-worth is defined by being this person.
Exactly.
And actually, one of the things I remember you saying to me once was that actually by you learning to really take care of yourself, you were actually modeling something for your daughter. And actually it had a positive impact on, as opposed to it being she was just getting less of you, it actually had a positive impact on her. Now, obviously that would have been different if she was 2 years old, but she was old enough to actually engage with that. So just say a few words about that.
And I think it was and like you said, it was like I was thinking, I'm giving her less, I'm not doing this stuff, but when I pulled back and actually focused on myself, I was a better parent. I was more resourceful. I was more, when I could be there for her, there was more of me to give. And that still stands today, actually, because now I feel like I'm a much better parent than I ever was, because I feel like I'm modeling, as you said, it's modeling how to be, and she's now adopting that. And I hear, she talks about looking after her own needs now, which she would have just modeled me before and been a pusher. So it's even though it feels selfish, it's not.